So my name is Thanassis Papadimitriou, and among other things, I call myself a life lover. Thank you very much, Mr. Yates, and the team that has organized this nice event. It's the first time I'm invited in TEDx. The thing they told me is overcoming obstacles. They also told me that I can choose my own topic of the speech. And I started thinking of something when I saw that next to my name there was endurance races, Greece.
Yes.
Okay, that was not a surprise because this is something that we do as a company. We organize endurance races, but I'll say something else before that. Actually, I will only close my speech with endurance races. So obstacles and overcoming obstacles. As far as I remember myself, I was fascinated, I was attracted by obstacles. And I think I was lucky. I was lucky to face them and confront them and trying to find a solution. Because, ladies and gentlemen, children, what is an obstacle? What is the definition of an obstacle? Olga?
Difficult in front of you?
Isn't it something that keeps us away from a dream? Isn't it something that blocks us? Isn't it something that is there and we want to go on the other side? Of course it is. And if it wasn't for obstacles, if it wasn't for us trying to find ways to overcome them, to solve them, where would we be? What would we be? Maybe still in the caves. It's the obstacles that makes us who we are. So, even though I don't like very much talking about myself and my stories, despite the fact that the people in our company loves that, I'll say something that I think is worth hearing. I thought I have 12-15 minutes to leave something with you. I consider myself a very fortunate man. I am, and as far as I remember, I was a healthy person. I am privileged to have a fantastic family, my wife, and my son, my daughter. And what I do is something that I wish many people would. I was 9 when my mother passed away from cancer. My sister was 7, my brother was 4.5, and we were left with my father. He provided everything to us. So I finished school. I left to the UK for my economic studies. I came back. And he was waiting for me to follow his family business into food processing, etc. So I went there. I was in an environment that I hadn't chosen, with people that they weren't actually my favorite. I was working maybe 10-12 hours a day in various places that I didn't like. And I was earning so much money that I couldn't spend, at least the way I wanted to. I wanted to travel. I wanted to meet places, to meet people, to meet cultures, to walk, to trek, to swim. And it took me 2.5 years to realize that I cannot continue like that. My obstacle. I could see that my father would expect me to continue that. It was a big dilemma. Then a day, I said, Dad, look, forgive me, but I cannot continue like that. I'm stranded. While he was disappointed, and this I know, he wanted the best of me and of us. I said, okay, so what are you going to do? Well, what about if I'm going to other corporations and ask them to take their people, their teams, and walk Mount Olympus? You know, drive to Namibia Desert. What? This is 1991 and nobody does that. So it took me a week to close all my pending issues with the company, return my shares, and start a company that was called FZ with the aim to provide amazing experiences to people. It was only the passion and the persistence, as Mr. Yao was telling earlier, that took us to a position after 3-4 years that these things that we were offering, these services, started to be more popular. Since then, you know, I've traveled to nearly 90 countries, numerous places. I've camped in jungles and in deserts and in ice caps. I've rafted mighty rivers. I felt the warmth and the hugs of many, many people that really lived something different. I never earned the money when I was 23. Never regretted it. Never. I am still so happy every day that I'm doing what I'm doing as I was in the first week. And I owe this also to my father because even though he didn't like it, he wanted the best of me. And this brings us 30 years later, when what happened in the late 2019 in the world? COVID. COVID, something we didn't know. And suddenly, in a couple of months, businesses were collapsing, lockdowns were everywhere. The hospitality business, our business, just finished. And at that time, my son was studying in Aberdeen, electrical engineer. March 2020, we have a call. I said, son, look, you better pack your stuff and come back because this is serious. No, I got that. No way. I'm fine here with my friends at university. What do you do now? You want in a few days. Boys. Then 10, 15 days later, he called us, look, there's no one around anymore, university's closed. Fast foods are closed. And you know the worst? The gym is closed. Okay, so how can I come back? He says, you cannot. A week later, he says, look, I found a way to come back. What is this? I was thinking, Aberdeen, Athens, okay. Well, I will ride my bike. Okay, hang up. I'm going back. I know another joke to tell you. No, look, I figured it out, it's 2,800 kilometers. If I do 80 to 100 k per day, it will take me maybe 30, 35 days. Who is coming with you? No one. No one is coming. With which bike are you going to do that? With my bike. This is 50 years old and you got from another pupil, another student. To make a long story short, we were terrified. His mother and myself and our daughter were terrified, alone in an empty Europe with all the lockdowns, nothing to eat, nowhere to eat. But he was persistent and he was passionate about it. And he bought another bike, a small bivouac tent, a small tent like that. And he started on May 10th, 2020, on a snowfall from Aberdeen, riding south towards the port that would take him to Holland, and from Holland slowly through Germany, Austria, Italy, Patras, home. If I needed to tell you the story, it would take a couple of hours, saying things. It was very hard for all of us. For him because he was alone, facing all the elements of rain, cold, snow sometimes, sleeping in farms and in his tent with sometimes deers passing over his tent. And he was alone. And there were times that his fatigue, his hunger, he cried. We cried with him. But 35, 37 days later, we saw him at the entrance of our home in Athens. It was after that day that we slept a full night. And he came, he thanked me. He said, look, two things. First, how on earth did you let me do that? And second, if again I ask someone, don't let me do it. But talking about overcoming obstacles and saying these two stories, I hope it didn't tire you. It's the message that I want to pass. Everything is in our minds. And if we set this target and we work out everything around them, there's nothing we cannot do. This is what I believe, this is what I'm trying to pass to my family, to the company that I manage and I run. And this is my message to you, especially to the children. Follow your hearts according to your values and power. And to the parents, let them do what it's in their hearts, not in our hearts. So, thank you very much. And because it's about endurance races, that was Ironman. And Ironman is the most known triathlon in the world. It's tough, it's difficult, but it's tougher for people that they are disabled or they have other kind of difficulties, but still they put this target that now I am going to swim 2 kilometers, I'm going to bike 90 or 180 kilometers, and I'm going to run one after the other because I can. So this race, thank you very much. All the best.